Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FFW. And we're kicking today off with a very special interview with none other than the hardcore champion himself, the best in the world, CM Punk. Punk, it's so good to have you here. I know we all have a lot of questions about your true intentions in this company, but we have a lot to talk about tonight. Now, my first question, Punk, is when you debuted into FFW, you set the locker room on notice. And then your first ever one-on-one match, you defeated Randy Orton for the hardcore title. You introduced a character of CM Punk that we weren't very used to. A true champion, Punk. It seemed like you were the good guy for the first time in your career. Now, with your obvious change of mindset, could you tell us if that was all an act?
First of all, it's stupid that I even have to be here. I don't think anyone should know my thoughts or my actions. I do what I want. I'm CM Punk, and you're gonna have to deal with it. But I'm such a nice guy, and I'll give all the reporters and the social media influencers their content, so the CM Punk that returned earlier this year was a CM Punk that wanted to be the good guy. You see, I've been the bad guy my whole career. I was sick of getting booed, sick of being heel, but I came to a realization that that's just who Phil Brooks is. Phil Brooks isn't a good guy. He's never gonna be a good guy. He never was. I think the crowd at Money in the Bank just liked Mox more than me, and that's okay. I don't care if you don't like me. But that inner demon I had inside me came out that night, and he just never went back inside. So to give you an answer, that was a version of CM Punk, not the real CM Punk.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the honesty. Now, with your hatred against Jon Moxley, it seems like he was a key factor in your supposed heel turn.
You want to know the truth about Jon Moxley? I think he's fake. The guy's not even a real wrestler. Every match he's ever wrestled, he bleeds buckets, and I could respect that. It takes a man with balls to risk his life every time he steps into that ring. But let's face it, the man can't wrestle. Not to mention he was the worst member of the Shield. He's got the crowd in the palm of his hands, and he knows it. Jon Moxley is a narcissistic psychopath that doesn't belong at Wrestlemania. And Jon, I know you're listening. And as long as I'm breathing, you will never be in the spotlight again. And don't even think for a second I'll defend my hardcore title against you at WrestleMania. I'm not defending this championship at all at WrestleMania because nobody deserves to have a match with the best in the world on the greatest stage of them all.
For months, we have watched from the shadows. For months, we have watched two men twist the darkness into something it was never meant to be. The Fiend, Finn Balor, the so-called tag team champions. You walk around calling yourselves the Kings of Darkness, the rulers of chaos. But you've forgotten where the darkness came from. You two boys didn't create this. You inherited it. The Fiend, once upon a time, you were one of us. You were family. You walked beside the flames of Cain. You stood in the shadow of the Reaper. You called us brothers. But somewhere along the way, you lost your soul. You turned your back on the very ones who gave you power. You chose to side with the demon, and together, you've corrupted the darkness for your own gain. You've held those FFW tag team titles hostage long enough. And at WrestleMania, the Fiend and the Demon will rest in peace.